If I were to tell you that you could start watching a show when you were a little kid and still be watching that same show for most of your life, you'd probably think that I was crazy. If you're young enough, you might even be thinking that I'm talking about The Simpsons. But while The Simpsons has had an amazing 34 seasons and counting, the show I'm talking about has been on TV for 60 years. That show is Doctor Who. Originally titled The Troubleshooters and proposed as an educational series, Doctor Who first came to television in the fall of 1963 on the BBC. The show featured a mysterious old man known as only the Doctor, who lived in a junkyard with his granddaughter Susan. Two teachers from Susan's school came to check on her one day and found themselves swept into time-traveling science fiction adventures. It turns out that Susan and the Doctor are aliens, and the Doctor's police box, or laboratory, that looks like a blue English telephone booth, is actually a machine that can travel to any point in space and time. The machine is known as the TARDIS, an acronym that we later learn stands for Time and Relative Dimensions in Space. Susan's teachers, Barbara and Ian, are the first people to utter the classic observation that the TARDIS is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. And is it ever? It's also filled with excitement and adventure. But the BBC programmers could have used their own time machine for scheduling because the show got off to a very rough start. The first episode of Doctor Who premiered the night of November 23, 1963, the day after American President John F. Kennedy was assassinated. As you can imagine, the show didn't get much attention that night. Fortunately, the producers showed faith in the idea and immediately rebroadcast that first show right before the second episode the following week. For its first 26 seasons, Doctor Who had a serialized format. Each show was a half-hour long and ended with a cliffhanger encouraging viewers to watch again next week. In England, the very successful Quatermass trilogy of TV shows had been broadcast as serials during the 1950s. So the British were already familiar with the format. And yes, those are the same Quatermass stories that were later made into awesome films by Hammer Studios. On Doctor Who, each story usually lasted 4 to 6 episodes, and the first season had 42 episodes, completing 8 story arcs. The original concept was that Doctor Who would be an educational show, with the time-traveling companions exploring various points in world history. However, that idea went off track almost immediately. While the first storyline, An Unearthly Child, sent the Doctor, Susan, and their friends to the Stone Age, the second arc immediately shot them into space. In that story, the TARDIS crew landed on the Dead Planet, a world that first introduced us to the Doctor's archenemies, the Daleks, who also gave that storyline its name. For those who don't know, the Daleks look like robots, but are really human-sized battle tanks with evil aliens inside. Some people think Daleks look funny, like huge, old-fashioned pepper grinders. But the Daleks are always deadly serious, and have been the villains in many Doctor Who episodes to this day. One of the unique things that have allowed this show to last into the present is a secret that isn't revealed until deep into the early series. The Doctor, you see, is immortal, but with a twist. The Doctor was played by William Hartnell, a British actor who was born in 1908. He was known primarily for his roles as military characters in films and on TV. Hartnell played the Doctor as an eccentric old man, sometimes prickly, sometimes hard of hearing, but with genius lurking beneath the surface. The show was a hit, and over the years to come, Hartnell and friends appeared in many exciting science fiction adventures, including not only the Daleks, but also the Aztecs, the Web Planet, the Chase, the War Machines, and the Daleks' invasion of Earth. In the initial 4 years of the series, the supporting cast changed, with first one actor leaving and then another. Even the Doctor's granddaughter Susan went off to find her own destiny. As the cast members left, the show replaced them with new characters who traveled with the Doctor. Those supporting actors came to be known as the Doctor's companions, and some of them have almost as many fans as the Doctor himself. Eventually, even William Hartnell had to leave the show. Undiagnosed heart disease left him too sick to continue. That could have been the end for Doctor Who, but the writers and producers had a brainstorm. In The 10th Planet, the Doctor met a new foe who would soon become almost as iconic as the Daleks. They were called the Cybermen. Pushed beyond his limits during the story, the Doctor collapses at the end, and when he gets up again, he's been replaced by another actor. The Doctor has regenerated for the first time in the series and is now being played by Patrick Troughton, who becomes known as the Second Doctor. That science fiction twist is the secret to the Doctor's immortality. When one body wears out, he transforms into another. It's that trick that has allowed the series to survive, with only one interruption, from 1963 to 2023. The Doctor you tune into today is the same character you saw when you were a kid, just played by a different actor. To date, there have been 14 main incarnations of the Doctor, not including the one Peter Cushing played in the movies or a few others that fans love to argue about. To avoid confusion, Doctor Who fans, known as Whovians, often refer to the incarnation of the Doctor by the actor who played him. From William Hartnell to Jodie Whittaker and beyond, William Hartnell is referred to as the First Doctor, the Hartnell Doctor, and fans even used to call him the Old Doctor. So imagine my surprise when I discovered he was only about 55 years old when he first took on the role in 1963. Maybe people just looked older back then, or maybe some of it was due to the stress of World War II on that generation. We'll never know for sure. While the perception of age and its impact on characters like the First Doctor is intriguing, it's the broader tapestry of Doctor Who that truly captures the imagination. From its inception in 1963 to its enduring legacy today, Doctor Who stands as a testament to the timeless allure of storytelling. Spanning 6 decades, it's woven tales of time travel, alien encounters, and the indomitable spirit of adventure, all anchored by the enigmatic Doctor. As generations have grown up with the TARDIS's iconic bigger on the inside revelation, the Daleks' menacing presence, and the Doctor's ever-evolving incarnations, the show remains a beloved beacon in the vast expanse of television history. As Whovians young and old can attest, the journey through time and space with the Doctor is one that, once embarked upon, leaves an indelible mark on the heart. What do you guys think of Doctor Who? Did you grow up with the original show, or jump on with the most recent incarnations? And who, no pun intended, was your favorite Doctor Who? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. So now, from all of us at Rerun Zone, we want to thank all of you for watching.